Hello, welcome to this, our first video in a series introducing the Christian life. Do you ever wonder what life is all about? Do you ever stop and think what is important to you? For many people, it will be family or work or shopping or going on holiday. Now, all of those things in and of themselves are not bad things, but are they what life is all about? And if a time came when a person had no family or no work or found that they were unable to go shopping or to go on holiday, would that render life completely meaningless? Are those the things that life are all about? Well, in reality, the things that are actually most important to us are the intangible things, the things that we can't see, and yet they are the things that make life often enjoyable and worth living. Those moments of a shared experience with somebody, perhaps even a total stranger, you find yourself on the same wavelength as they are. Or perhaps it's the first tentative steps of a young child as they begin to make their way in the world. It's those things which relate to relationships, are the things that give us most joy and pleasure in the world in which we live. And yet, the sad thing is that relationships die, whether they die in this life. If they don't end in this life, they will one day end because death will bring it to an end. But is that really the end? Is death the final thing? Is that the moment when you cease to exist? Well, interestingly, even in our secular society, 44% of people living in the UK believe in some form of life after death. How can you find out? Where can you look to discover whether there is something after death and what that something is? To live your life without really knowing the reason for living is a tragedy. To die without realizing that death is not the end, but is a door that opens to a new reality for which you are totally unprepared, that is a complete disaster. So where should we look? Well, the answer is that the Bible tells us about life and death. It tells us about the big things, the important things in life, the things that ultimately matter. Lots of people have their opinions from the media and the television or what their friends think. But is that good enough? Is what somebody else is telling you, is that a good enough standard for living your life? The Bible says, "Do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." Reading the Bible, learning its truth, having an impact on you, can give you a renewed mind. And innumerable people from all sorts of backgrounds and cultures right across this world in which we live have done just that. They've found in the Bible the answer to the key of life, and they have found it working in their own experience. They have been able to live a life of abundance and fullness, a life in contact with the one who created this universe in which we live. So isn't it worth finding out? Don't depend on what the television tells you or what your friends assert, but see what God has to say to you through the Bible. Why not start reading it? Why not read the Gospel according to John? That's a good place to start. because it tells us all about how God came into our world, how he lived, how he taught, how he died, and how he rose again from the dead. Why not start reading today and find out what life is really all about?